Ankhobia with On a Level on New Style Radio 98.7 FM.
The On a Level show took to the streets and we asked 50 black men and women what they thought about each other. Now, in the studio, we are joined by two guests. Omar Jack is a businessman and Kente is an author. Together, Omar Jack and Kente, they're going to be analysing what the men are saying and what the implications of what's being said for our community. In the meantime, we're going to get to the first part of the show, which is, what do black men in Britain think of black women? So we spoke to young black men, older black men, we spoke to Rastafarian men, we spoke to African brothers to see what they had to say about sisters. We spoke to men who were born here. Okay, here we go. What black men in Britain have to say about black women?
Reasoning empowerment for the community with Ankhobia on 98.7 New Style Radio.
My name is Robert, short for Robbie Irie. Yeah.
And what is your view on today's black woman in Britain?
My views on the black women in Britain today? Well, a lot of them is doing what they have to do. And just do what they want to do with the kids and things. But enough of them missing the male role model beside them.
Rasta. Well, what are the things they need to wash out the European woman and get back to the African woman? You see it? And get back with the family. Man and the woman and children. So them things that we want to see get back to, because right now things that get too loose now. Family structure break down.
And what is that due to? Is that the black woman's fault, or because she's there with the children, isn't she?
The system fault. Or both ways, you see it. Because if the system set it that way, the black woman supposed to know better. Because she right now, she had the mother of creation. You see it? Mother of all nation. Backbone. So she's supposed to strong and stand up and know better than this. So we ask them to straighten up. You know? Yeah, man.
So when you say that the black woman needs to become more Africanized and move away from European ideals of womanhood, I take it that you mean, what exactly does that require? What would that actually require her to do?
Straight. Yeah, man. Teaching of His Majesty, man. Empress men in Marcus Garvey and all these things, you know. All these teachings, you know. And man, and them thing there, we get back on track. You see it? Those people are our role models.
Yeah, the black woman want to get back to the black man standards of way of living, you know, and try to realize that we are for them. Because some of them things say we're not for them because they've lost their path. So they believe say our next race of people can do better for them. But they don't realize that the system is breaking on the black man and building up the sisters. So the sisters think say
the black man is useless, worthless. And then don't give black man a job. No, you know them little way there. The black man now, youth left school and all them little things them. No help, no father figure and around and certain little things. Gone on the road. Least like a problem, he get a record. So his job will be menial.
Okay, Robbie, you were actually saying that black women need to get back to the black man's way. What is the black man's way?
Well, come back to reality of life and, you know, just know where they're coming from and where they belong, you know. I know, say, right now we don't belong here. We're trying to live the way of the Europeans. It can't work, you know what I'm saying? Because although we're here as black, we're Africans, you know, with Africans' feelings and mentality and thinking. So when it's been here for a while, it become like them. It become like how they want it to be. It become watered down, you know, the weaken the sisters, you know.
From slavery, you know, because them train the woman to bring up them youth physically strong and mentally weak. Because it's natural. A woman now go and see them a murder off her pitting them every day. No. You see, you have to know we's a set of people that been traumatized.
Ross Joseph, I'm from Jamaica. From what I observe, a lot of the black women here in Europe seems to lost their roots, seems to lost their culture based on the European teaching. And it's all coming to education. And for us to really find where we're going, we have to find our roots. And our roots is in Africa. So we have to get back, get forward to our roots.
Do you see the black women here as independent and strong?
Yes, some of them. A lot of them is independent and strong without a black man. And therefore, that's where the problem is. Because it takes two to make one. And a woman alone cannot do it. She's strong enough to do what she can do. But most of the women here in Europe is without a man.
And why do you think that is?
It's because of the culture, the teaching, the European way. Because most of the men in Europe, they don't have a job. Therefore, is a woman mostly have a job.
Black men then, what do you think their role is here in terms of the black family? Given the fact that in the Caribbean you find men, they take on that responsibility for providing for their family themselves. They don't look to anybody else or to any system. They take that as their responsibility.
The education system has failed most black youth, because most black youth get a record from early. Therefore, they cannot get the job that they really want to get to look after their family.
Okay, and how do you view black women in comparison to Jamaican women? Black women in England, that is.
Oh, the thing is with Jamaican women, they look after their man. In Europe here, the women, most of them, them lost it. Them don't look after the man the way the man need to be looked after.
Right now, when it comes to a relationship, they say the key to a man heart and belly. Enough women up here, them can't feed them man. And if you can't feed them man, you can't keep him. The next woman I go have him, plain and straight. Yeah, man.
They look after the youths. They look after their man. They look after the house in general. In Jamaica, a woman is taught how to look after the house, how to take care of the family. Here, the woman is taught how to look after herself.
Levi, as the brother said, black women in Birmingham, they lose their sense of morality, I believe, right? Because of the system set up against the black people. So the woman them just follow the program of society, really. You know, change them skin color and all them kind of something.
You talking about bleaching?
That too. On TV you see black women. Today you see them dark like me and you. And next year you see them light like, you know, like skin a change.
What are some of the things you admire about today's black woman? Heard the problems. What are some of the things that you actually admire?
They're becoming stronger because we're all coming back to our senses, so to speak, where we see that the system set against we and set against black women. But still, black women have more strength in society than black man still. You know, they're more able to survive in this society than we. You know, the job's not coming to no black man. They're more likely to go to a black woman.
50% of black men in this country, in Britain, are with European partners. How do you think that has affected the black family and the black woman?
One thing I don't like to see, personally, black woman with a European man. Don't like that, but personally, I not gone through them things at all. So.
You mean you've been with a white woman?
Yes, 27 years.
You have children?
3 boys. all right, come with it.
How can you actually say that you, as a black man, you've been with a European woman for 27 years, you have 3 children together? How can you say that you don't like to see black women with white men?
There's a difference, you see. There's a difference. You see, the white man now will not show the black woman the respect that a black man would show a white woman.
Black men don't beat white women?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, okay?
What is it that you would all like black women to begin to understand about black men? I hear brothers sometimes say that they don't feel close to the sisters again. What is it that you'd like us to understand about black males and in this society and the problems that they're facing?
The black woman, if you understand, say the black man still getting a fight. Black woman, them have to start watch with clothes and the way we look. They believe because they dress in the Western clothes and you don't dress like them, you're not saying nothing. But don't remember, it's all about the mind and the heart. They need a man who can uplift them spiritually and physically, and from a man can do that for them, that's the kind of man them for their way, not just for worldly things.
The women them need to get back to them spirituality, you know, because if we're connected to our spirituality, then eventually we'll have love for each other. But when we lost our spirituality, we lose everything. We need to get forward to our spirituality.
But you see with all we are going, Nah, man. The mother of creation, man. We not leave her range, you know. Nah, man. God, we are going, man. The black woman, man. All woman, you know. But you see, black woman, number one, you know. Blessed.
Ankhobia with On a Level on New Style Radio 98.7 FM.
There's a black man on the road, you know, and all we see is we sister them. I go and I try to form themselves in the ways of the Asian and the European woman. For what reason we don't understand, because the black woman is the greatest woman on the earth. In fact, all women come from black woman. But this is where it stands right now. We have the black woman buying dead hair and Chinese hair to put on our head, of which hygienically it is unclean. And secondly, right, once you put on this weave on your head, it's like you don't accept your identity no more, right? Because I don't see a Chinese woman going into a black hairdresser shop asking, right, for black curly hair to put on her head. You don't see the Asian woman going into a black hairdresser shop asking for black curly hair to put on her head as a wig or as a weave. And you don't see the European doing it. Okay, they had the perm one time, but you don't actually see them going into a black shops asking for curly wigs or afro-looking wigs to put on their hair, or afro-like extensions to put on their head, right? But the black woman now has completely lost, well, nearly completely lost her identity completely, because to be going into a shop asking for another race's hair to put on top of your hair, right, to walk around with straight hair, right, it's like you're looking to be with the white man or the Chinese man or the Asian man for money. But bottom line is, it's not your hair, it's not how you're supposed to be, it's not how you were born. And all them products are doing is chemically and mentally destroying your identity.
Has the black man lost his identity?
A lot of us, yes. But the root of us has not lost our identity. There's a lot of black men that don't eat white bread, don't eat white sugar, don't go with white girls, don't eat bacon. We eat with cultural food and stick to reggae music and keep the fire burning the same way. And you don't see black man putting things on our head to change our identity. One or two, yes. I mean, if you look at the African women that come here, it's very rare you see them go on like how the black British go on, or the Jamaican yardies go on. And they've completely took it to another level because they're wearing green and pink and blue hair. Some of them actually look so ridiculous, you have to wonder if they actually have any form of identity left in them at all.
Have you ever dated an African or a Jamaican woman?
Yes, I have.
What is the difference between those women and black British women?
The black African woman is definitely more cultural and more reserved, and more conservative. The black British woman is nowadays more or less just like a white girl. And the Jamaican girl, she's completely money orientated. It's not a very good thing to be looking for a Jamaican girl, right, or a black British girl. It's very hard to find a good one to settle down with. I'd like to see the black women to stop using the Babylonian system against the fathers of the children. I'd like to see the black women stop promising them children things that they can't really afford to give them. Stop putting their children in front of the television and let them listening to radio stations that's selling the decadence to our people in our community. So, you know, yeah, I do take this thing serious, and I see it as a very serious thing.
Edward, what is your view on black women?
Yesteryear's woman didn't have the opportunity as what today's women have. Yesterday, women was more stronger institution. Today's women, I think, they are more stronger mentally, but they haven't got the institutions.
What were some of the qualities about the yesterday's woman, qualities that you admired, and some of the qualities that perhaps you disliked?
They were very dignified. They had a strong moral standard. In general, I think they were more outstanding.
And what are some of the qualities do you think that they had that today's woman does not possess?
I don't want to offend anybody. They dressed differently, more dignified. They had a higher standard of dressing. The way they look after their partners, they took more pride in looking after their partners and their home and their children. I think a lot of them was more home proud. In general, I think they look after their family a lot better than today's women.
All right, Tony, what is your view on today's black woman?
They love too much money. They're a robber. They love search your pocket and search your clothes. You get me? So I'm not doing a black woman. I got through. You get me?
What do you admire about black women?
Black woman nice and strong still, but them aren't not clean, You get me? They have bad heart.
Why do you think they're so money orientated, as you put it?
I don't know if I dare depend them or what. Or a hard life. They don't want to work. They just want to depend on man. And if you work and can, everything can get them.
You've been living in Britain for some time now. Have you come across black women who are independent and supporting themselves?
A few. A few don't want to work. They just depend on social and them things. They don't want to work. And that's why you work and can everything. You just breed up. Get me?
What's the difference for you between Caribbean women and black women born in England?
Well, British women can't cook. They kill it with pear beans and egg. The English woman, them just automatic, just want dress and go. They don't really want to work. You get me? Jamaican woman, some of them really do some cleaning and thing, but you can't help them. For after you help them, then just all about money and chinal and canis. You get me? Jamaican woman, them just want to stay, and when they get them stay, they left you. You get me? So me just go through. Easy as that. So, I'm not with them.
I know black girls see me and want me and children see me the white girl, they have films, Black woman make so much mischief and lazy, don't want to work. But white man, work. Me there at 6 years now. Me have a half-caste baby mother, wife, black baby mother, white baby mother. But the worst one of them is the black one.
No topic is out of bounds. If it's real to you, it's uncensored to us. The Honor Level Talk Show. It's real.
Theo, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay. How do you view young black women in your age group?
Generally look just like me, like cool, laid back, you know what I mean? Up for a laugh. Just jokes.
Do you find them progressive? Are they ambitious? Do they want to get ahead in life? Are they independent?
I think they're more independent. I don't know about their ambitions and what they want to do in the future, but they don't like rely on like, oh, I need a man such and such, but they're just like laid back and just cool with it.
Do you think that they're kind of out there defining themselves, or are they living up to stereotypes?
They're just doing their own thing, you get what I'm saying? I like it.
What are some of the things you admire about today's woman?
Like I said before, independence. That they're independent and that. They're nice as well. Oh, that's about it really. They're just cool.
What are some of the things you dislike, or things that you would like to see black women improve upon?
Well, some of the girls my age, enough of them got attitude and that. And I don't dislike it, but sometimes they do, like tomboys. There's bare like some girls like aggressive and just start drums for no reason, stuff like that. But it's not really the one. It's not attractive. It's not nice. I want her to be humble, you get me? Be a lady, get me? That's what a woman is, a lady. Not like, she shouldn't be like a boy, like baggy clothes and whatnot. She should be a lady, elegant, you get me? That's what I want.
Some of the guys I was talking to just now was saying that they find the women they don't want to cook these days. You're a young man, you're coming from a different generation. Do you, for example, expect your partner to cook for you and wash your clothes?
Unreal, I don't. Cause man like me, I can cook anything. Unreal, I do cook for myself. Wash my own clothes. I don't expect no girl to do it for me, get me? Because I'm a man, you get me? I do it myself.
But if you're living with a woman, should she do that for you?
50-50, you get me? I'll do it for her, she'll do it for me. I don't expect her to like come back, say if I'm working, come back and expect her to cook and the house to be in order. That's for me to do and for her to do. Obviously she'll be working as well. I don't want like a housewife. It's not the one. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Stefan, how would you describe a black woman?
I describe like a strong black woman as a positive black woman. Now if you're talking about like just women in general, there's enough different types of women on road. Like there's women who know what they want and where they want to go as a black woman. They're like the Nubian queens of our day, you get me? And then you got black women who's just on road, just doing the same thing, selling themselves short, going around trying to get like the best man on road, like one of the men who's just like a top shotter and that, and then just deal with him and associate through him that she's all this and that just because they're man so and so. But really, like there's too many different black women for me to describe black women as a whole. That's how I see it, really.
So for you as a young man, what would be your kind of ideal woman?
A black woman with her knowledge, and she's not just following what going on the road today. She knows her history, she knows her passion, she knows her future, what she needs to do. That's my ideal woman there. That knows about, she needs her foundation before she rushes and breeds up herself and all them things there, you get me? Like a positive black woman is the woman that I need. And she has to cook good meals. I like them women there that know about the foods, even down to the foods. When I talk about knowledge, she needs to know everything, like the food, where she's coming from, like what we stand for as a people, because there's too much women on road nowadays that are just losing and watering our race, you get me? They're just watering it down because they're not educating their youngers, they're not staying with their fathers. If you look at it, there's enough black youths that come from single mothers that just for whatever reason lost the path or whatever, you know what I mean? And now they're like raising up youths that are out of control and that. But then you have a next section that are just tight and have their heads screwed on. All our black women need to get together and become like that positive black woman that, you know what I mean? That one. That my mum was, because that's the black woman that I'm following right now, and that's what I'm looking for me as well, you get me? Someone as positive as my mum.
Reasoning Empowerment for the Community with Ankhobia on 98.7 New Style Radio.
Mental, mad, no hell. Right? And you see, when it comes to a black woman, turn me fool, you know. I love my black woman, you know. But they make me angry as well. Because when I see out a road how certain woman go on and it disgrace my race. And I turn around and I look upon the woman, them we deal with it, right? And them like, them know themselves, you know. Them deal with themselves, they know about their mother and them culture, right? And they're trying to find themselves as well. These women, you know, make me look upon life and turn around and say, you know something, man can't go on bad with woman again, you know. Because woman, I feel with birth, man, our culture, you know something, what I love about woman in it, right? When a man is weak in it, a woman is strong. When a man a ball in it, she there for you. I love my woman, you know. I love my black woman. Me nah stop this, so you know, because I tell you right about now, I suffer, you know, and there's a woman in my life right now, right, that deals with me, right, when no other woman, right, could have deal with me if she wasn't a black, strong woman, right. She helps me through my times of pain, and this woman sit down by me, right, and say, you know something, God, I touch you, you know, don't worry about it, man, I'm there. That's why I'm there, you know. Because whatever you go through, I am going through. Love my black woman, you know. Love them. Trust me. Because I now get that from nowhere else, you know. You know what I mean? If me turn around and start check this and that war and that, innit, right? Me that dead long time. But you see my black woman, she's strong for me, you know. You see when me get weak, she gets strong. You understand? And then me feel it fear, you know. Because you know something, when I go through the pain, she goes through the pain. She feels what I feel. But guess what? When me weak, she strong. Love them. Love them.
My name's Martin.
Okay, you've been listening to the general conversations that have been going on with some of the guys here. And we'll be talking about black women.
Generally, I would say the same as black men. It's like we're lost. We are lost, and it's like know yourselves. Because my issue always is with, you know, why do you feel that you have to have straight hair? Why do you feel that you have to cover your image with makeup? Why do you feel that you have to bleach out your skin? Why do you feel that if you have nice shape, they have to wear low-cut clothes and tight trousers to press it out? Why do you feel that? To me, without all of that, you're beautiful. In natural form, you are beautiful, and to me this is a distortion, especially the bleaching out of the skin. That needs to stop full time. You know, natural hair is beautiful, just have it anyhow. If it's picky, it's picky. If it's not, it's not. That's you in natural. And I think if you love yourself and you begin to love yourself in natural form, then maybe we'll be able to love you as well. The woman needs to really identify themselves and know that, you know, you're strong. You don't need to come and show me your breasts. You don't need to come and show me sex all the time. Show me something else. Show me intellect. Show me a solution, because at the end of the day, behind every strong man is a strong woman, and in order to be strong men, we need strong women behind us. I'm calling for the women to help us out in this. We're lost, but without the women we can't go anywhere further. So if the women are lost as well as we're lost, we're just gonna head towards destruction. One of the things that grieves me is when I listen to the radio now and I hear, oh, dirty wine contest, £200 for the winner, the best girl that can come and skin out her front. That is why our women get disrespected by other societies, because we don't respect our women. We need to start respecting our women, start respecting ourselves, because they don't want us to respect our women. That's why they're freely putting out records where we're disrespecting ourselves and our women, because they don't want us to have a positive image of our women.
You know, I have to disagree. If men like you can take the stance to say, you know, you're not going to call my woman a hoe, you're not going to tell my daughter about she must come and skin out for a bottle of Guinness Stout. If men like you can take the stance, and you're young men, what excuse is there for some men who can't?
I wouldn't say it's an excuse, but to me the common cause of most things is money, and that's what leans it. Money. Like, we know it's wrong or whatever, but then a man will come and say, because we know that it's hard times we're living in for everybody.
It's about mentality. It's not about money, it's about mentality. It's how a man thinks, right?
Got one hand, it's got a big cake in it, and you got another hand and it's got the little cake in it. You give to a child and you say, which one do you want? Naturally, they're going to take the biggest one. So it's the same thing. Even though they know in their head it's not right, society's telling them you need money now. The dance promoters are doing that because everybody in society knows sex sells. And then everybody in society knows that black women have a wicked body on them, so much so that people are going for surgery now to try and get that same body. You see what I'm saying? So now what's happening now is that we're selling them short, because at the end of the day, the dance promoters look at anything now that we're promoting, and it needs to stop as well. There's a naked black woman, doesn't matter what we're promoting, it could be anything. Could be cars, naked woman on there. Barbers, naked woman on there. Cultural dance, naked woman on there. Food, what naked woman on there?
Do you somehow think that the way men perceive women, black women, is affecting the way black women in turn are seeing themselves, the way they are in turn dressing and behaving and conducting themselves?
I believe that the woman is portraying herself in this way because she feels that she wants to get a man. But then the question that I would ask, by portraying yourself in this revealing way, in this sexual way, are you going to get the man that you're looking for?
What are some of the issues you think black women need to address in an honest and open manner? What do you think some of the issues are?
I know that men's are players, yeah, but I think that they need to address the way that they entertain that as well, because at the end of the day it takes two to tango. So unless women are stronger and say, you know what, I don't want this and I'm not going to accept it, because if they stop, we have to stop. Secondly, I think that, you know, don't just look on a brother and judge him because of what he's doing, how he looks or whatever. Don't do that. Say, oh, you know, this brother's not for me because he don't drive a Lexus. You know, we can walk past the most beautiful people in life. Yeah, just strengthen themselves. Know that you're the mothers of creation and be strong about that. You're nothing that is to be belittled. You should never like put yourself down. You don't need to do those things to be attractive. You are, no matter what you look like. The essence is beautiful.
987 FM on your dial.
Okay, you've heard the first part of our interviews with black men sharing their views and concerns about black women in the UK today. In the studio, I have KENTE and I have Omodrank, and they've been listening to the interviews with me, and then I'm going to share with us what they feel about those interviews, what they think about what the men had to say. KENTE, let's start with you. Give us a general summary of what you thought the men were saying.
Well, of course, the men were speaking from their hearts and from their own experience.
Mm-hmm.
And what a personal experience, you cannot say anything against it because that's their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's some very strong feelings coming out from the brothers. And, you know, we're in a serious situation. And we're going to have things like these cropping up all the time because the whole time people said that you can't plant peas and reap rice. So based on the foundation that have been set for us, these are going to be the results. And until we do something to change the situation, we're going to come across these views more and more.
Okay, you said based upon the foundation that's been set for us. What do you mean by that?
Well, basically, as young men and young women, we were not brought up in a certain way, in the sense to deal with the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
We were raised in a way to cope with relationships. This is not to blame our parents, but many of us had no groundation. No father sat down the young boy and said, son, when they reach a certain age, these are the things you're going to do. These are the things the way you're going to act towards women. These are the women you're going to look for as a wife, and vice versa. So we're just basically thrown out in the wind, and this is the chaos that has resulted from that.
Okay. Omodrank, what are your views on what you've heard so far in part one of what the men have to say about women?
Well, I think part of this is what kind of culture we find ourselves with. I mean, like what KENTE said earlier about our parents who set certain standards for us to follow behind and expectations. They didn't tell us really what they wanted, but if we'd done something wrong, then we would know that they didn't approve of it. And I think at the same time, we're not getting our cultural references from our culture, or we should behave towards each other, or we should interact with each other. So I think you find that in the Western society, they are setting the goals that we are looking up to. They are setting the standards that our people are following beyond. So you find if a people haven't got a cultural reference point, where you will just take on whoever set that particular point, and it has affected even the way we even interact with each other. Like, you know, a lot of brothers, as mentioned, a lot of the women buying false hair, bleaching of skin. I mean, these are not our cultural points that we would really want to, you know, set for the standard of our people. You know, blonde, blue eyes. In the Western society, that's their standard. But our standards have become very confused.
But does it make sense if the men are criticizing us as women for wearing weaves or having blue contacts in our eyes, or, you know, some of these, you know, these are some of the things that the men had to say. Does it make sense for them to criticize if they themselves have a European standard of beauty in which they judge black women by? I've seen it many times where brothers, they say they want the woman with the straight hair. I've heard reggae songs, particularly dancehall songs, where they talk about a woman's nose, a black woman's nose now, must be straight like Madonna's. I've heard artists like Beanie Man will say he's a Rasta. Then he will sing songs about if bleaching agrees with you, there is nothing wrong with that. So we seem to have these double standards. Does it make sense if the men are saying this on one hand, but on the other hand, some of the men, their behaviours show different?
It's not really a valid criticism in the sense that we are all suffering from the same problem and we have different manifestations of the same problem. So obviously the women would adorn themselves in a certain way that we can call westernized. At the same time, the men are also living a certain way that's westernized. We might not have the blonde weave and so forth, but it does not mean that we ourselves are not westernized. Even the way we relate to a woman is westernized in many cases.
Okay, we have a caller on the air.
Hi, I've just been listening to the show, driving home from work.
Okay, who am I talking to?
It's Yvonne.
Okay, hi Yvonne, welcome to the show.
Hi. I've just been listening to the show coming home from work, and I was getting very frustrated in the car listening to the first set of interviews that you did with the older generation,
Yes.
talking about black women staying in the home, which is fine because if that's the way they were brought up.
Yes.
And then there was one chap that says that he didn't really agree with black women going out with white men, but then he turned around and said that he's been with a white woman for 27 years, and it's this double standard that it's really annoying to black women especially. It's all right for the black men to go out there and date white women, but not vice versa.
Okay, Jack, Yvonne is saying that black men have double standards. They're not playing a fair and level playing field.
Well, I would say that speaker who spoke earlier, he has to speak for himself because I cannot endorse what he said.
Okay.
You know.
But do you think that this is a problem? I mean, essentially what Yvonne is saying is that, look, there's some serious double standards here. Yes, one may have made that comment, but I think what she's saying that you can look throughout the community and see many men who act like that.
I think that, I think as you go through, we got things to improve. Each individual has to try to improve themselves also, because you're never going to reach that point where you reach perfection, but you're always trying to strive to improve yourself. So I think that there is double standards, I suppose, but sometimes blaming us, the system, we did not set the system, but we have to know how to survive and thrive within it.
Okay, Yvonne.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard some of those interviews? And it wasn't just older men, it was younger men and everything. It's only part one. We have part two to come yet.
Yeah.
How did you feel as a black woman within yourself? Did you feel validated? Did you feel that they were encouraging you or just merely criticising you?
I think some were encouraging, but some were criticising at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, black women, they're saying black men have to stand by their black women, but a lot of them don't. They, as soon as you have children, they disappear. They're not very supportive to black women, therefore they've got no chance but to support themselves and look after themselves and bring up the children the best way that they can.
Okay.
It's really difficult for them. I mean, I myself, I don't have any children, but, I know people that are single parents, women left on their own to bring up children on their own, and they're doing a very good job, but they have to do it, they have no choice.
But are we, as women, let's be honest now, are we making the right choices in the first place? Because, you see, it's one thing to blame men, to say black men are not doing this, which is a massive distortion, by the way. Some black men, a few black men choose not, just like white men or Asian men. Remember, the Child Benefit Support Agency wasn't developed for the black man in Britain. So some black men choose not to play a role in their children's life. But what about us as black women? Are we making true choices? Are we being true to ourselves?
I think when you meet a guy, you don't know that 5 years down the line he's not going to be with you. I think you meet a guy, he makes all the promises, you get on well together, you think he's going to be supportive, you think he's going to be strong. Then the child comes along and they're no longer supportive and strong because they don't know how to be, or they don't want to be, or they're scared to be. So I think initially we do try and make the right choices. Some women do go after a certain type of guy with the money and the car, etc.
Yes.
But I think initially women do try to make the right choices, but in the long term it just doesn't work out that way, unfortunately.
Okay, Yvonne, thank you for your call.
No problem, thanks.
Okay, Kente, you want to say something?
Just to comment on the sister mentioned double standards. Quite a few of the brothers mentioned about women who just breeding themselves up. Now, it's very interesting that instead of criticizing the men who quote-unquote breed up these women, they're attacking the women for having children. as if the women had artificial insemination. What about these men who are quote unquote breeding up the women? Why aren't those men being attacked? That's part of the double standards.
Okay. I'm just going to give you a general kind of summary of what I heard on the first part of those interviews. I heard black men saying that black women have lost their roots, they've lost their culture. Too many black women are wearing weaves, they say, as a means of identifying with Asian, Chinese and white women. They say that the system has failed the black man, which the black woman fails to comprehend this. Some of the brothers said that as women, we are not looking after the men. They also complained about women bleaching their skin, and they don't understand why a black woman would want to bleach her skin. They also said, again, black women are not understanding the plight of black men. We're not home proud, we're not family orientated, and we're having too much children. Some of the younger men said that the younger sisters had too much attitude. All right. So these are some of the things that I heard. You're in tune to the On a Level talk show here on New Style Radio. We are here for you. This is your number one community station, New Style Radio.
987 FM on your dial.
Hi Joan, how you doing?
I'm good.
Joan is from the organisation called Healing Voices, working with young people. Joan, let me start with you.
Ooh. Well, my first comment is I just need to say that this, and I'm going to call it the battle of the sexes because that's what, it's been called since the 60s, but this kind of misunderstanding between men and women, this massive schism between men and women, it doesn't just exist in the black race, it exists right across. So we're not unique, but I think what is unique is the fact that we are so damaged and so far removed from where we need to be that the problem manifests itself in us and creates a greater damage. Now, my response to the stuff that we've just heard is fair enough, and I'm listening, and I don't want to criticize anybody, but I can't hear in any of that where there is a brother taking responsibility for the part that he plays in the fact that, our race is so devalued of itself. We're devalued from outside, but of ourselves, and we devalue ourselves.
But can you actually understand where some of those men are actually coming from?
Yes, I don't like it, but I do understand it. But they're not looking at it from a very round perspective. They keep saying the system. I understand, the system will teach them certain things about me. So when they speak to me and consider me in these kind of ways, I can kind of listen and reason with them because I know then that they are as much a victim of the system as I am. When I hear a brother, and I'm sorry brother, but when I hear a brother who puts the onus so much on the black woman to keep this race going forward that he can sit and discuss with Ankhobia how wrong it is for a black woman to be with a white man, and then discuss with, such pride that he has been with a white sister for 27 years, has 3 children, but it's all okay because the black man respects the white woman, whereas the white man would not respect the black woman. Now, that to me is the crux of the matter, that the black man expects the black woman to carry this race forward. And I'm sorry for generalising the 2 brothers that are sat here beside me, but the black man, I think, expects the black woman to carry this race forward and to hold herself on some kind of pedestal while he just is in the mix doing whatever he wants to do.
Okay, Kente.
What I heard in the tape is what you expect to hear. We're upside down people, so we can't expect anything different from our women or from the men.
Yeah.
And also that since we're all deculturized in terms of the weave and the women trying to look like Europeans and Asians, since we're all deculturized, we manifest it in different ways. In fact, I can see a day when men will be wearing the same weaves, the way the trend is going now. In fact, I see a certain so-called artist with, is it blonde weave?
I think it's just blonde hair.
Is it blonde hair?
Yeah.
So I can see the day when men will be going into shops to buy the same weaves that we complain about. And the next thing is that it's a vicious cycle. Is it the women who must change their appearance to please a man, or is it the fact that the men love women who just like that in the first place? Is it the women must change, or are the women appearing that way because they know men love that kind of appearance?
I think there's a clue with Ankhobia's comment that 50% of black men in this country are with European women. Therefore, their idea of beauty would seem to be European. So the black sister who wants a black man, you know, in this very skewed way, because I don't care if you don't want me to look black, then you're not going to be with me. But I think, as Kente was saying, we're so deculturalized that, yeah, if a man wants us to be looking like a European, we're going to do that to get this man. So,
yeah, it's like in most things with us African people, economics, politics is a crisis, and I personally would not criticize black women, because by criticizing black women, you're only reflecting on the black man, because we're part of the same thing. So to criticize one is to criticize yourself. To say the black women are deculturalized, also reflect on the men, because the men are not innocent in the whole thing.
I think one of the things that I was kind of hearing that kind of disturbs me is, the first thing was that this notion of the system pressuring the black man and giving the black woman opportunities.
I didn't understand that.
I kind of thought, well, you know, I work just as hard as anybody else. I struggle just as hard. Sometimes I go for jobs and I don't get them, regardless of my qualifications. You know, so I kind of wonder, where's the responsibility? When will the brothers take that responsibility? I mean, you know, some of you were born in this country. We've been here since the 60s, the 50s. I mean, hello, you're going to keep singing the same song. Are you going to keep singing the same song? The system, the system, the system. The system hasn't changed. It was like this when they put us on the first slave ships.
Yeah, to protect itself. It's the job of the system, yeah.
So I kind of wonder, Jack, I mean, you're self-employed. You've obviously taken that step to say, hey, I'm going to provide for myself, I'm going to provide for my family.
Yeah, well, I think when you really think about it, alright, you ask the question to the women, you ask the question to the men, what them think about them women. But just like all the previous speakers said before, is the actual state that the Africans are in, and how them cope with the state they find themselves in. I think when it comes to you mentioned the African men being pressured, I think there's something in that as well. Because I think the sisters I've seen some sisters I've seen who have gone into the system, they've made themselves presentable, in the sense that they straighten their hair, they try to be presentable and not threatening to the white. Because I've spoken to a sister who was working in a bank. She went natural. Everybody in the bank, she said, them didn't know how to make of her with a natural appearance is threatening to them as well. So sometimes when you're going into the wider society, sometimes we correct ourselves in certain respect to try to fit in and not appear threatening. So I think it's how you actually cope. We as African people have to really take a stock, and you know, we don't really have institutions that would guide us, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
The young people, how do you approach the future? How do you relate to each other? I mean, we can stand each side, male and female, saying, boy, Unu is like that, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, very much so. I kind of wonder if the family, if we have to get back to basics and deal with the rebuilding of the family, strengthen the family.
Most definitely. And something that really resounded to me like a clanging bell, how many men were saying, them left them baby mother, them baby father, them left them baby father, never stay with them baby father. Well, if the baby father isn't actually performing, if he's not doing what he should do, then I don't think that you have to stay. You know, the man needs to address certain things about his behaviour. That brother, sorry again to disrespect any brother who's listening, who sat there and said, "Boy, I'm there 6 years and I've 3 baby mother." Already, that's the issue to me, not the fact that, you know, the black one is the most, you know, tumultuous. Because I'm telling you, I don't care what colour you are, if you hear that your man has got 2 other baby mothers and you're gonna kick up rumpus. And if he's a black sister, you're gonna make enough noise about that. So the issue is kind of coming from both sides. But when I hear men speaking, it's as if we're totally and fundamentally responsible.
But I do want to thank all of those brothers who took the time to allow me to actually do the interviews. I thought it was quite brave of them.
And I'm really grateful, even though, I'm saying, oh, the brother who's got 3 baby mothers, I'm really grateful that those sets of interviews, they enlightened me so much, because it's very unusual to be able to sit in a room with a brother and say, brother, tell me what you think about black women, and have him actually tell you the truth. Yeah. And I hope all the sisters out here that have been listening, you have been listening. I know what's going on in our brothers' heads. I'm not saying that we're indicted. I'm just saying it's something that we need to know.
Kente, just quickly, you're married to an African woman, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Are the African women more cultured than black British women? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, I will put it this way. The least exposed you are to the West is the most cultural you are. And the more you become exposed to the West, you become more deculturalized. So you find that the Africans in Africa, the more they're exposed to what we've been through, they end up the same way we are. In fact, what is taking place with us now is now taking place on the continent.